obviously a lot of Irish people out of work at the time. A lot of the international companies like Dell, for instance, withdrew out of Ireland because of the tax breaks that they'd enjoyed before were now taken away. And it became a lot more expensive, certainly from a tax point of view. I mean, I was there for the first tax levy, not the second one. But it did mean that quite a lot of money that you had previously had to be able to spend was just gone in taxes. So, but it's interesting psyche from the people. They didn't seem to change. It's one thing that I found quite amazing about the Irish. They kind of just took everything as it comes in their stride. And I think that's what kind of makes them. If you think of such a small country, it's only 4.5 million people, although there's apparently about 60 million people from Irish descent in the States. But the effect that they've had around the world, it speaks volumes for the nation, for who they are. And I think I was very privileged to be able to experience that environment.
And what was your portfolio there? What were you involved with?
I actually worked as a consultant to this company. What they did is they had quite a few projects with government departments on implementing new technology and change technology. And
betting.
Pardon?
Were they betting?
Oh, no. It was nothing to do with nothing to do with horse racing,
Yeah.
nothing to do with betting. Yeah. No, it was business systems. And basically, as they implemented these systems, they wanted to also re-engineer the workflows and everything like that went with it, so that they could benefit from the technology, which I think is a sound principle. Because a lot of times people just put technology in and expect things to change. Meanwhile, you've got to change the processes that go behind it. So that was my portfolio, was really looking at those business processes, assisting the various departments on making the changes and adapting to the benefits that this technology then gave them. So the biggest project I worked on while I was there was for the Department of Social and Family Benefits. So it was all the people unemployed, people that got maternal benefits, people that got child support benefits, all of those payments, the processing, the reconciliation of those particular payments. It was quite interesting that when I first got there, we scoped the system to do 65 million payments a year, yet by the time I left, it was processing 80 million payments. So it showed how many more people were then, off.
Redundant or whatever.
Yeah, redundant, having to get benefits. Yeah, obviously one of the other things is that they have quite a lot of children over there, so child benefits are quite...
Not much else to do.
No, it's a lovely place. Everybody always talks about the weather, I must say. It wasn't a big factor. It really wasn't that bad a factor.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not a bad place. When the sun shines, it's beautiful.
The racing, did you get to do any racing there?
I went to a couple of race meetings. I went to Carra, I went to Dundalk, and I went to Punchestown. Punchestown had the festival there, so that was great fun. It was really, really good fun. I went as a guest to a marquee, very much like a July function, and it was just, it was awesome. It was awesome. They really put their heart and soul into going racing there, yes. And just, the crowds and just getting behind the race, just. And
they are lunatic gamblers.
Oh no, they are. They're crazy people. Yeah, they're crazy people. But fun people, there's always this thing about the Irish fighting and all that kind of thing. I must say, I didn't experience much of that at all. They're far more.
Have you watched Snatch?
Yes, I have. Oh. Yeah, and I know the pikey. I actually encountered a couple of pikeys too. Interesting.
Did you encounter a couple of them?
Yeah.
Did you go coursing with them?
No, I didn't go coursing, but I did encounter a couple of. I must say that Snatch movie for me is one of the greatest movies. I don't know if you've seen Rock and Roller.
I've watched all his. Guy Ritchie's my hero.
No,
I love his
brilliant.
movies.
He's brilliant. But I also think, the role, the way that Brad Pitt played that role too, it's phenomenal.
As we say, if it had been an American-made movie, he would have got an Oscar for it. But we're going to take a little break. We're going to have a quick look at what happened to Magic Millions, and you'll see some pretty good ones that come out of Magic Millions this week. We got Territorial Waters ready to go right now. They won a stake. Mojave Princess won a stake. Main Dane, and then this week, which will come out next week, we had the winner of the Natal Oaks. So fantastic week for Magic Millions. Let's take a break and go and see some racing. Right, we're back again. And luckily I got my nose back in joint because Brad Pitt we were talking about and Snatch. That is the Irish. It epitomizes the Irish, that sort of way of life. Wouldn't that movie just like it, you know, sort of go with the flow?
Go with the flow. And also, they got something up their sleeve as well. So, you know, the way that he had, right at the end of the movie, when he actually, you know, he had bet for himself, I think.
In the fight.
Yeah, bet for himself. Yeah,
but the best was the way he sold the caravan.
I know, yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the way that they all just stood there, or in fact sat there, just watched them as the wheels fell off. Yeah, it was good.
Oh my goodness, at least we love some things about the Irish. But all right, let's get back to here, current day. You've been here a couple of years now, and there have been a lot of changes. This new board seems to be a fantastic board. There's a great feeling of we will go ahead and we will conquer with this board and the people that are involved in Gold Circle at the moment.
Yeah, there's definitely a drive to make KwaZulu-Natal the kind of racing jurisdiction that other people envy. I do think, and I think we're doing a lot to actually make us stand out from a racing jurisdiction. So
the tote board and the new big screen are very important, and I think you've been quite involved in that lot.
Yeah, a lot of people have questioned why we went that route, but in essence, the old tote board, we couldn't get parts for it anymore, so we had to replace it. And we just felt that television gave us that much more option by actually being able to still have the tote boards, the dividends, etc., pools and payouts, results, etc., on the screen, but also then to use it for both advertising, to use it as a television during the running of the race, to show both the parade ring activities and the dividends at the same time. So it's given us a lot more versatility. Because of its size, it's just or because of their size, but particularly the new one that we switched on at the beginning of the month, because of that thing's size and its clarity, it just creates its own vibe around the place. I mean, I've received so many compliments on it, and so many people just say, gee, that's phenomenal. There was a time that they told us it was the biggest screen in a sports arena in South Africa. Well, in Africa, you're right.
I think it's in Africa, yeah. Which is phenomenal.
It is. No, it is. It's great. And I mean, it really is so clear. From our office, I can see the dividends and payouts quite clearly from our office, which is probably 300, 350 meters away.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal investment. But on top of that, you've upgraded the betting systems, the terminals.
Yeah, again, we had to do it. It came at a point where we just couldn't support these terminals anymore. We just couldn't get the parts and all that kind of thing. We were butchering old ones to keep the others going. And fortunately, again, the board recognized the need to invest in that technology, which is expensive. It's expensive when you have to replace 500 odd terminals in one go. But fortunately, the insight and the foresight was there to actually say, we need to do it. We need to do something new. And we were given the opportunity of actually shopping around for the technology. And we found these terminals in China. They're used in the lottery system there. They were very versatile, very adaptable. They sent us out some as test samples. We played around with our software on them and then committed the order. Unfortunately, they had to be manufactured and delivered here. They arrived too late to be able to be used to train the new July recruits on those terminals. So what we have done is we've put 120 odd here at Greyville. We've replaced all of the terminals at Scottsville with the new terminal and a couple at Clarewood. So all of our regular tote operators all work on those terminals, and they will work on those terminals for July Day. And then the trainees that have been brought in just for the July, they will work on the old terminals because that's the one that they've been trained on. And we didn't feel it right to try and teach them one terminal and then teach them another one because of the limited time that we actually have that they work as setting operators, because you'll appreciate the fact that the number of people that we have and to try and train them in a very limited time just makes, you don't want to add any more complications to that. But the new terminal is a great terminal. It works well. It looks good. So I think it's good.
Touch screen terminals. Are you
Yeah.
putting in a lot more? Are they working?
They work. They're not very popular. One of the things that I do want to do after this July is to try and just work on the interface with some very creative people to try and just make the terminal something that people want to use.
You know, as a better, if I can just give you my 5 cents.
Yeah, sure.
The biggest problem with a touchscreen terminal is that you can't get a payout out of it. You know, if you could get your payout as well,
Okay.
I think it'd be more popular, because what happens is that if you could put in your ticket and get a payout out of it or get a credit,
You've got to go still.
you've got to go to the other terminal.
Yeah.
So you might as well go to the other terminal. So, you
Mm.
know, that's what seems to be the problem.
Okay.
I would have thought just chatting around and that. But
It's very, unfortunately, the mechanics behind it for paying out is a very complicated thing, which drives your cost of the device up quite
Yeah.
substantially. You know, like the parking meter type of machines. But
Yeah.
if that is the fundamental problem, then we're going to have to look to that.
Yeah.
What we have done is we've ordered a prototype of 5 new devices from China as well, that we want to play around with, and possibly in those ones we can look at payout as well.
Patrick, we've only got a couple of minutes left.
Yeah, sure.
Sports betting, there are obviously big moves afoot on sports betting. How do you see the improvements coming and things that you've got in the pipeline?
Sports betting growth in sports betting has been phenomenal, particularly in the fixed odds arena. Guys, and really sports betting is primarily soccer betting. Guys have just grown incredibly big with regards to that. We've got our soccer pool bets, which have become a lot more popular, and as they become more popular, the pools grow, which brings its own attraction to them. One of the things that we did change a lot in the last 3 years is the fact that we've targeted non-racing people to take the sports bet and to try and encourage them then to actually take racing bets. Whereas before, the thrust was to try and get racing people to take sports bet. And they really are two different markets. And we've found a lot more people, particularly in the off-course environment, a lot more soccer guys coming in, taking their bets, and then having a look at what's happening on racing and trying their hand at a couple of racing bets as well. But we've grown our sports betting quite substantially in the last 3 years. It's huge in Pumalala. They're doing over 10% of their turnover through sports. We only at about 6 now. In fact, no, sorry, I'm wrong. Pumalala is probably closer to 20 right now. The market's bigger for them, but we need to get there. We need to catch up, and we are doing it. We definitely are doing a lot better. The Soccer 10, Soccer 13 have been huge success in getting that. Soccer 13 mainly because of the pool size. I mean, runs into a few million. And the
I see a couple have been bought, a couple have been collected.
Oh yeah, no, there's a couple of guys have won some big money. Yeah, that's right.
Millions and millions of rands.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, there's some big payouts in that. Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, I don't know if you've ever tried your hand at that.
We always take one, you know.
It's difficult. You think you know the game, and then some. I mean, I lost out on a Soccer 13 to I banked at Arsenal, and I mean, Arsenal were playing. I think it was at Middlesbrough game.
Yeah.
You know, who would have thought? And anyway, yeah. So we got 12 out of 13 on that week. Yeah.
Patrick, the July is coming up. Everything's ready to go.
Yeah, everything ready to go. We're fully prepared. It's obviously a tense time in the country right now with the state of health of
the president, the ex-president.
Ex-president. Madiba. And obviously we're keeping an eye on that. But other than that, we are fully ready, fully prepared. And we look forward to the day. If the weather stays like it has been, it should be a phenomenal day.
It's always fantastic. I want to thank you for coming in and spending a bit of time with us. And hopefully people out there will get a better idea of, what you guys have got in store. But I think interesting times ahead.
Yes, we've mapped out a 5-year plan on the company, and obviously Graham on the racing side and myself on the commercial side. I'm very excited about what Gold Circle has planned in the next 5 years. And I really would like to see those things that we've now got as kind of dreams actually coming to fruition. So I'm sure we're going to do it, and I want to thank the support of everybody that's helping that happen. Yeah.
Well, we wish you all the very best in the future of Gold Circle, and we've got some really good guys at the helm here, so things are looking great. To you, the racing fan out there, get ready for a wonderful couple of weeks leading up to the Vodacom Durban July. From me, James Goodman, Paul Lafferty, have a great week's racing.